Hey, it's the All New Morning Rollout with Alicia B. and Clay, and we do a lot of interviews. We talk to a lot of people, and for most of those, it's usually the first time that we're meeting that person. And so we're learning about them. It's kind of cool to be able to talk to someone that you consider a friend, somebody that's already been in, and that's what we get to do today with Charles. Charles, man, thank you for coming in the studio with us.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
The fact that typically we just talk to you over the phone, like you've come in with your amazing daughter, and when we were like... pedal. When we were thinking of like the idea of bringing you in, it wasn't like we had it already set.
Right.
It was just a conversation that we had, and we were like, wait, hold on. Charles is much cooler than he is trying to tell us. So can you tell us a little bit about your story?
Okay. I guess first I should let you know I'm from Detroit. I'm from Linwood and Davidson. I'm 43 years old. I graduated from high school in 1998. Born and raised here. I was a street kid, you know, troubled childhood, troubled neighborhoods or whatnot, and I was in the street. So to not get into a whole lot of detail, long story short, I caught a lot of armed robbery and weapons charges, and I did 20 years in prison.
Wow.
So I just came home June of this year, June 5th, 2025, and I'm happy to be here. There's a lot about me that is different. Currently, I'm an author and a motivational speaker, and I'm a father and a husband and an uncle. And I'm free.
These are things that when we met Charles, we didn't realize, we didn't know. We met you because we were talking on the air about some food and different combinations, and found out that your daughter is an amazing chef, by the way.
Yeah.
And brought in food, and that's when we started talking about you and your story and just how the things that you've gone through in your life, the decisions that you made, bad or good, have brought you to a point to where you are right now.
Right.
And that point is helping people make better decisions when they have a chance before they make a bad decision.
So when I was young, you know, people would try to talk to you, but they talk to you like you're a child.
Right.
I was old enough, at least mentally, to understand what was going on around me. And I was offended when people would talk to me like that. I had nobody to really give me the real. So that's mostly my perspective. When I talk to you, I want you to understand that I'm not trying to feed you words, or I don't want you to think that I'm trying to sell you a dream. I'm going to tell you the reality of what it is to be shot 4 times when you're 21 years old, and you have to learn how to walk again. Or 21 years later, there are days when I can't get up and walk at all. My knee swells. I want you to understand what that comes with, because when you're out here playing with these guns and these switches, and you think it's a video game.
Right.
Prison's not a video game. Watching people die from prison, watching people die in prison, it's not a video game. So I needed someone to kind of tell me those things in that manner.
Right.
And I never had that.
So what was the turning point for you? Can you take us to the moment where you were like, yeah, this isn't it. Like, I don't want to live this life anymore, and I want to help other people, or at least at that moment, help yourself.
So I've always tried to help people. You know, even with the things that I was doing in some round obtuse way, I thought that I was helping, you know. But really what happened was I was sitting in the hole. I did 18 months in the hole for a particular ticket I caught.
Wow.
And I'm sitting in the hole, and I started talking to myself. And so I said, okay, I'm going to buy me a TV. So I bought me a TV. I'm sitting there, I'm bored, and I'm watching this guy speak on TV. And I can't tell you his name, but it was kind of like he was talking to me. Well, if you have something that you can give to somebody, why won't you give it to them? So I always used to write. I used to do my poetry and my short stories and things of that nature, but I never entered into anything. So I was sitting in the hole, and this contest came along. University of Michigan has a prisoner creative arts program. It's an excellent program. They do it throughout the state. Anyone who's incarcerated that can write or draw is eligible to be in this program.
Wow. That's amazing.
And so I wanted to participate, but I was in the hole and I couldn't. So you have to be 6 months ticket free. So I ended up transferring to another facility. And at the time, I'm still in level 4. And I get here, and the guy that's the clerk for the special activities department knows that I write. And he's kind of badgering me to put a poem in. Keith Porter, he's still locked up. Free my man Keith. But he made me put a poem in. And it was called We Were Kings once, and it won. So it kind of tripped me out that my poem won. They actually gave me a cash prize, and then the staff member was encouraging me to submit it to PCAP. So I did not. Instead,
wait. So you went through, you entered, not against your own will, but you didn't want to originally.
I didn't want to enter it, yeah.
You win. Why does it stop there for you? Why not enter it?
So everything I write is personal.
Okay.
Whether it's a love poem, political view, George Floyd died, I wrote a poem called I Can't Breathe. Like, it's always personal to me. So I didn't want to put my work in front of people that I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what they're going to be judging against, what's the criteria, because they don't say anything other than you have to be incarcerated to participate.
Yeah.
So what if what I think is great is really elementary, you know? And so I didn't want to submit it, but they did it anyhow. A few weeks later, I get a letter from UM, and they're saying, hey, we like this poem, we're going to publish it. They do these anthologies every year, and I got a couple of them that I'm in here. And my poems are in these books. Like, I have a poem in this one. I have 7 poems in this book. It was eye-opening for me. It was like, wow, I can do something different. I don't have to go home, go back to organizations, or go back to any type of ties that I had previous. So it allowed me to make friendships with people that I never would have been friends with. I'm from Linwood and Davidson. Ain't no white people where I live.
Right.
So now my best friend is a white guy named Bob from
Shout out to
Wall
Bob.
Lake. Like,
shout out Bob. Yeah.
That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? So it just allowed me to see things differently. Once I was able to see things differently, I was able to make some different decisions. And so really that was my turning point, sitting in the hole 15 years ago.
Wow.
I'm imagining you've had a lot of scary moments in your life. I mean, whether it be physically scared or anxiety type scared, where does publishing something, putting your personal work out there in front of the world, like where's that rank in your my scariest moments in life moments?
So let's run down scary moments. I've been shot on 2 different occasions.
Wow.
I've survived other shootouts. I've been hit with various different objects. I've been in car crashes. I think number 1 and 2 is publishing my work and getting on roller coasters anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, I think those are the scariest things. It was probably scarier for me than prison. Going to prison, I kind of knew. My dad gave me prison game when I was a kid. I didn't know that's what I was getting until I actually got locked up. When I got locked up, I'm like, damn, I'm gelling. Like, I already know this stuff, you know? So when I got to prison, it was more so, if I'm gonna run into anybody, if there's an issue, you know, how do you get to what you need to get to? Because you hear all the stories about prison.
Right.
Some of them are exaggerated, but most of them are true.
Right.
So, you know, I wasn't really scared about that, but putting my work out was scary because now you got a whole group of college kids or whomever else, and you don't know who's gonna say something, and they might screenshot it and send it to someone else or whatever, you know. So I was scared.
Imagine.
Just the perspective of hearing you say that you were more ready and set up for success in the prison than what it is to just be a black man in society. It is such a interesting perspective to have, and I think that a lot of people, especially here in the city, can also understand that because it's so unfortunate to like know how to handle yourself somewhere that unfortunately you don't want to go to.
Most of us know that like before we know our ABCs.
Right.
Yeah.
And instead you would have wanted, you know, like you said, that blunt honesty of like how it is to live life. So having that perspective is just a lot more eye-opening than I even realized, because I know that a lot of my own family members probably know a lot more than they should about how to handle themselves there, but don't know how to handle themselves in the real world.
That's
like
true.
Where it's a lot different than what you experience in prison.
Well, I think more so than anything, it kind of goes back. Now, y'all bear with me. I'm a granddad's kid, so it's kind of an old line of thought, but it goes back to the family structure. If you look at the time when they started to allow black people to get welfare, they started to say you could get it, but you can't have a father or a male in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So what you do is you tear down that structure. There's no one to be the example. And the examples that we get are guys kind of hanging around because there's nowhere for them to be.
Right.
There used to be no help for an able-bodied, quote-unquote, able-bodied 18-year-old black man.
Right.
You couldn't get any type of assistance. So if you couldn't find a job or if mom got sick or whatever, you just made a dumb choice. It's over.
Right.
You know, I got a lot of felonies on my record. I've been home since June. I can't tell you how many applications I filled out where I get a denial less than 12 hours later on the email. Or just flat out,
Which is crazy to me because, and sorry to cut you off, but you've got the University of Michigan. I mean, one of the top schools in the country seeking you out to come and speak to an audience.
Yeah, I'll be down at the University of Michigan Detroit Center October 23rd.
There's managers at whatever business that look at you on a piece of paper and say, "No, this isn't for us."
Yeah,
you're looking at a
43-year-old man but you're looking at the paperwork of a 21-year-old kid, and then you're not knowing the circumstances.
Right.
You know, armed robbery, I'm not going to sugarcoat it or gloss it over. It's a horrible thing to do. I never really thought about it at the time, but what did the person feel on the other end of that gun, right? Yeah. The way I looked at it at the time was, I'm not going to shoot anybody. I'm not going to hit anybody. I don't want your money. I'm robbing this business, right? Be cool. Yeah. That's how I looked at it. It's not a great perspective in retrospect, but at the same time, these were the monies that I was using to take care of my children,
right,
to help my sick dad, my mom. They have their issues or whatever else that I was doing. So it doesn't justify what I was doing. It just states the fact that since I had got my first adult felony, it's been hard to have employment. So you have to figure it out.
So one of the last things that I really want to hit on is not anyone makes it alone. Like, you've got someone to help you out. You've got, and you talked about your guy, Bob, or even the people that submitted your work without you knowing. What's it feel like to know that you could be that person for other people? I mean, the roles are completely reversed for you now with the position in the role that you're taking. Like,
right.
What does that mean to you?
Especially having your own kids, who I'm going to assume you don't want them to follow in the same path.
They better not.
So how is it, like, knowing, like Clay said, that you are now that example that you wanted as a kid?
And it hasn't
humbling.
Even sank in yet.
It's humbling because I recognize I have a unique memory. So I can kind of go back to remember exactly how I felt when I was 14 and this happened, or when I was 10 and this happened. And I have empathy for them. I understand what the circumstances are, and sometimes it's just two hard choices. Yeah. Are you going to eat today? Are you going to walk around this pair of pants with a hole in it today? So for me, it's a humbling thing to be able to go back. But I had people in my past who, in their own ways, try to be there for me. I got two amazing wives. I don't know why God blessed me that way, but they're amazing. Like, my children, my mother, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, this core network of people, like, I'm not trying to sink. I'm flying. I'm a big fella, but I'm up there.
Right.
But they're right up under me. I've never had that before. And so if you can show somebody, like, yeah, it might be really, really horrible, but look around you. There is one or two people out here that were come and help you, show you, guide you, lift you, if possible. It could be a life-changing thing. It happened for me, so.
No, that's true. So I know you do a lot of speaking, and that's something that's become, a passion, really important. If people are looking to have you come speak to their crowd, even if they're just like, hey, I want to learn more about your story, they're going through something similar, they have a family member, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
So the best way to get a hold of me is probably email. My email is cgbsenior, the word, @gmail.com. So cgbsenior @gmail.com.
Okay.
And the question that I have been wanting to ask for sure is, if anyone is actively watching this, that was in the same position that you were at 21, at 14, and now at 43, what do you want to say to them so that they don't follow in the same footsteps?
Cry. I never cried. I held a lot of different things in. I cry all the damn time now. I'm like a big punk, but it cleanses you. And sometimes that's what you need to change your perspective, your thought process, shit, even the things that you're looking at, what you want to eat today. It's a tool. God gave it to us, use it.
Man.
That's real.
And I'm speaking for Alicia here, I mean, like, we started off the show new. I think we're lucky to meet and become friends with people like yourself and your family. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's bigger things at play. You kind of get that feeling. So. And we're just grateful. Grateful for you to come in and call and all
y'all
that.
see I got them with me. When I call in, they're with me.
We hear in the background.
Grateful.
It's like the whole family.
And so it makes me grateful too, because like I said, this is totally different from how I ever lived my life. I never imagined to be able to live my life the way that I live my life. Prison saved my life literally. I probably would be dead. Period. And then PCAP was the thing that gave me something to hinge on to make that turn. So, yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for y'all too, because like I say, I couldn't call you 6 months ago. I didn't know who Clay and Alicia B were. I was just flipping through the radio station one day and I said, oh, they playing that right there. That's, I got back in my mode. I was in the early 2000s, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really do.
Well, we appreciate you and just everything that you have shared with us off and on camera, everything that you share with the people who will hear you October
23rd. I'll be at the University of Michigan Detroit Center in downtown Detroit. Come on out. I get to read my poetry. There'll be some other poets there, some artwork there. Come show the support to the program, to the guys like me who are really trying to make a change in our lives and in the lives of others.
I love that. And just one last thing. If you are scared about putting out your poetry, are you ready to then voice it to people on October 23rd?
I can read my poetry all the time.
I was going to say,
because what I do is I just look at them. That's who I read to.
Yeah.
So it makes it easy for me.
Okay. I was about to say I'll give you some good juju.
Okay.
In case you
I
needed it.
I appreciate it.
Charles, thanks so much, man. Taking the time and family coming in. We appreciate all you.
Thanks for having us.